back deep to receive for a hand, or number 34 is Daryl Noble, 21 is the other receiver, Bob Duggan. Two of Hand's experienced players that were about ready to begin the 1995 season. Daryl Noble fills it on about the 18.
He's a speedster. Give him a little room. He'll take it.
Noble breaks through over the 40 to the 44.
Picked it up in the 20 and went up to 44 with a nice straight up the line. He had some good blocking all the way, Ken.
Daryl Noble was out with a broken wrist a good share of last year, but he filled in early in the season, and we know he can run.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was the East Lyme game last year as a sophomore that he showed up on the field and basically came from nowhere as far as the football people were thinking, and he did a wonderful job.
Backfield for Hand is Ryan Milligan, the quarterback, and he pitches wide to Daryl Noble, carrying around the right side. Got a good gain going, about 9 yards.
The Noble one, there we go. We see him his second time touching the ball so far this season as we start off, and he's got 34 yards in the bag, all-purpose, that is.
9 yards on the first carry from scrimmage around the right side. The fullback for Hand is Dan Carroll, who also has quite a bit of experience for Hand. So Milligan, Carroll, and Noble in the backfield.
That was a nice handoff too, by the way.
And right up the middle to Carroll. He's got the first down, breaks the tackle across the 40, down to about the 39.
Well, already,
down for Hand.
Already you saw them take the fake to Daryl Noble, and it went plunged right up the center on the fullback carry, and there was a little bit of room there because of that. That bodes well for the front line.
End of the game, our Dan Anderson and Eric Becker on offense. Out of Mike Dawn and Dan Carroll, the two captains for Hand. First down for Hand at the 39. And Milligan rolling on the offense.
Bobby D. That's my man, Bobby Duggan, right there. 22. A three-sport athlete right there, and you can see the good hands that Bobby D has. Oh, what a move! He did a beautiful jump step off that completely laterally there. We got up there was no room whatsoever. He did a quick jump to the left, found another 5 yards.
So far, Hand looks pretty sharp on offense.
Dan.
Ryan Milligan at the control of the quarterback.
Dan and
going split wide left, got two receivers, split wide right. And the carry up in the middle, a big hole for Dan.
One man to beat.
Getting inside the 5.
Oh.
Here's the goal, about the 1.
He was almost able to vault over that last tackler down there.
That was excellent blocking. Left guard, center of the line. We'll pick up the linemen as we go along.
Wow, we're 2.5 minutes into the contest, and
Hand up first down on the line.
getting rid of those jitters.
Number 52 at center is Matt Mason, and he helped clear that hole on that last carry. Mason played a lot last year, and it's carried by Noble in the end zone.
Oh, that's my man Matt Mason right there. Matt's doing all the snapping chores this year, and he's got those big shoes to fill. Looks like he's going to do it pretty well, Ken. Not that we had any misgivings that he would, because he's an excellent athlete. Went to a couple more camps this summer, and we're going to see some good things out of him. We did see him in the championship game last year, kick his first varsity field goal. or let's say lifetime field goal, did a nice job with that, and we think that he's going to be a nice additional piece of the offense again this year.
He's got a strong leg on that extra point kick, and so Hand takes it right down the field on the first possession and scores in a little less than 3 minutes. 7-0, Daniel Hand leading the East Lyme Vikings first game of the year, first quarter.
Well, that's a nice way to start because it starts to get those jitters out of the way, all the way.
There was some nice blocking in the line play on that offensive possession. We will try to get all the linemen as we go along.
East Lyme, number 27, Elvis Santiago.
Well, let's take a look. They're getting ready for Jimmy to tee it up again.
Up on the near side of the field.
Well, special teams is always something that you have to work on. Dan Anderson on this side, his brother was one of the co-captains last year, but Dan's a great athlete himself.
Carroll and Nick put that in the air all the way to the 3-yard line. Center return.
Wedge is a little bit empty there. Nice pickup. Bobby D.
That goes in by Bob Duggan. Got the man down the crossing 30.
Bobby D is a great three-point shooter in basketball. That looked like he would have taken anybody down with that one, though.
So East Lyme, their first possession, will get the ball at the 34.
Now we test the defense.
Defense is got Byro Kishwala, number 76. He's one of those sophomores that's a good one, the linebacker. And he's right there covering the man on the first play.
He was doing what he was supposed to do, keep the eye on the man coming through the center on a quick drop against the zone. However, with a little more experience, he would see that ball coming and pick it off.
Byro Kishwala is number 76. We'll hear a lot about him. He's a 6'3", 225-pound sophomore, and he'll be starting both ways tonight.
Want to call him Special K. A little bit easier.
Sweep to the left.
Closes
And
in.
it's got it strung out if they can just make a tackle, but the man turns the corner and gains about 4. Flag.
Gonna be a face mask, I think.
Maybe a face mask or a late hit over there.
I didn't see the number on it, but
It's a face mask penalty against him.
you just see it as they were turning the corner and the hand play a lunge and could see the hand just barely grab that face mask as it went down.
So that's going to be a first down by penalty. East Lyme's first possession, their first crossing of midfield down to the 46.
First return for East Lyme on the hand 47.
Kishwala and Dan Carroll are the inside linebackers on defense. Quarterback straight back, looking to throw.
Got a good pressure on the...
Good pressure, a complete pass. And tackled by Dan Carroll, but about a 13, 14-yard gain, first down for East Lyme.
Yeah, that quarterback stood in the pocket very, very well because if he had moved out of that at all, he was going to get nailed. But the pocket held up for him on that.
I see number 30, Nick Ricano, is calling the defensive signals for him. And he is also the inside linebacker with Kishwala.
There they go, second man throw.
The middle, break one tackle. Ball is good.
Nick Ricano's one tough hombre in there. He's an excellent wrestler. Excellent wrestler.
Gain of about between 6 and 7 yards, however, for East Lyme, and they got the ball down to the 27.
They've got some pressure moving thanks to that penalty earlier.
Breaks the tackle, breaks another one, and now he's heading for the end zone. Gets away, and he's
Santiago, ball touchdown. 27-yard run by
arm tackles that were not made.
Yeah, they really weren't, and you could see him not quite set up, being a little bit light on the feet also. No, it's not taking position enough and eyeing the belt buckle to bring him down, but
also takes the ball on the field and scores. And the tied up with a conversion. They're 7-18 left first quarter.
And it actually took them a little less time than it did Hand to make the first score. Again, helped by that penalty, of course. See if Hand puts on much pressure here. Yeah, very authoritative. That was an authoritative kick as well.
The score at 7.
We may have a high-powered offensive game here. Nobody stopped anybody yet.
That's true. That's true. Well, and that is the hard part of starting a season, is the defensive side in any sport, because that's the reactive side. The offense always knows what it's doing. Whether it does it is something else, but offense always knows where it's going. And defense has to react. That's a little tougher to train into people and get them working during the season.
So East Lyme to kick off back for Hand with 7-18 left on the clock. First quarter, 4 ties, 7-7. Last week they received Darryl Noble on the far side, Bob Duggan on the near side. In front of them are Dan Carroll and Nick McConnell in the blocking position.
His knee down. He made sure of catching it, but he went down with it and touched his knee. Therefore, it's down at the 20.
That's a shame because you enjoy watching him run.
Oh. Yes, he's very deceptive running, not just his speed, but he runs a lot heavier than his 160 pounds or thereabouts. Well, 150 pounds. I think that's soaking wet.
Over the ball at center. Ryan Mulligan, quarterback. Dan Carroll is fullback. Darryl Noble is the quarterback position.
Good coverage down there by the East Lyme Vikings on that particular play. That guy who did the coverage, Dan Donovan, I believe he was the one that scored the touchdown also for East Lyme. So he's an athlete going both ways. Anderson comes in, as does Monroe.
It's a little bit unusual, and Hand comes out throwing on run 20 early in the first game of the season.
Yeah, and on first down. Oh. Started to open up a little bit, but what happened on that, the corner? The defensive corner for the Vikings went wide. He stayed wide to make sure he would force the run back on the inside, and that's what happened. Forced them back into the pressure.
Into the game is Dan Carroll, and out is another one of the sophomores. Number 20, Jeff Monroe, was in at the fullback position last time.
I'll be Duggan wide here.
Summer picks it up. And a good game going across the 30. Got a first down on the ball.
Well, Darryl did play a little basketball last year as well.
It was a good dribble.
Good dribble.
One bouncing right back up to him.
Probably took his eyes off it just fractionally, looking for where he was going, as you might do, and that was just enough to kind of tip the fingertips.
The wideouts for Hand are Dan Glenn, split wide right, and Bob Duggan to the left. Let's run up the middle, and there's a defensive man meets Darryl Noble after only a yard or so gain.
Yeah, you can see a blitz coming very quickly on that, on the offensive right side. Darryl cut to the inside of that for a yard and a half or two.
They accounted for everybody but one defensive man there, and he was right in the way. Into the game is number 5, Greg Walby, who is also the backup quarterback. He's a sophomore. He's a bit wide to the right. Milligan rolls right. Looking to throw, and there's Walby over there. First down. So the sophomore gets the first down, pushed out of bounds near midfield.
Nice move by Mulligan out there. He came up and there was a white jersey right in front of him, ready to take him down. He stopped short and did a little jump pass to make it completed.
They mark it at the 49 with this sophomore Greg Walby as the backup quarterback, and in the spring practice game, he showed a good arm. I saw that scrimmage, and he can throw the ball too.
Well thought of by the team and coaches.
So Milligan rolling to the left this time. He's got an opening. He brings it down, going to run it, and a good gain. He gains about 8 or 9 on that run.
One of the things that you can see that the Vikings are doing is they're jumping their linebackers around and bringing them right up on the line, trying to make the hand players nervous. And to a degree that works.
Ryan Milligan is a little bit in the mold of Mark Gumkowski last year. He is faster than he looks. He can run.
And he's got size.
They gained 8 yards, and there's Dan Carroll for first down and more. Carroll down to the 25.
Very, very nice blocking up the center again. Matt Mesa doing his chore coming off of that snap. Also saw Super K in there doing a good job.
So a little over 15 yards on that carry by Dan Carroll. Good blocking up the middle. Let's see who those linemen are. Frank, they've showed us something so far. The center is Mesa. Can't see all the numbers right at the moment.
Well,
as we pick them up, we'll tell you who the linemen are.
Ed Drew's on this side at tackle. We'll give him that one right off.
There's a mix-up in the backfield, but Milligan pitches it off to Noble, who carries it across the 20. So on a busted play, gain about 7.
Yeah, Todd McLaughlin's in there on the left guard. Like we said, Ed Drew is on the left tackle position.
Drew is number 70. He's a sophomore.
Danny Glenn just came in with the play.
Mac Dolan is playing a tight end position. 76 is Viral Kishwala. He's the right tackle.
Chad Taylor, 75, the other guard position.
And a run by Noble up the middle. Bounces the side and got a first down.
He also did another neat thing on that I'd like to comment on, and that was that the linebacker immediately went for the ball, trying to pull it out of the Noble one's arms, and he didn't get it. Darrell was able to stay right with the ball all the way.
So Darrell Noble takes it to about the 13, first down for hand. They can make a first down at the 2, or between the 2 and the 3. We have a little over 3 minutes left in the first quarter, tie score. Run this time by Dan Carroll. Carroll heading for the end zone, and he's a yard short.
He tried to stretch it with his
I
arm.
think he's got the first down, Frank, about 11-yard gain. First down at about the 1.
I would say so. Yeah, he certainly has.
First down. Didn't get the touchdown, but a first down run. He gained about 12 yards out of that 13 he needed for the touch.
Oh, Danny was really stretching for it. He was about in the same position he went down then as he did on the carry in the prior possession.
So here's a power eye, and they've got big number 36 in there, and Dan Anderson blocking, strong to the right, and Milligan wedges his way straight forward, and touchdown.
It's going to be there.
Ryan Milligan was right behind the center right guard. I saw number 51, Todd McLaughlin, blocking right ahead of him.
That was a good time to call that, certainly. You had first down, many chances to get in there, and what the coach wanted to do was to see if his young offense could take that pressure and take it in, and they did.
So Hand marches the ball 80 yards on that possession for the second score to take the lead. Jim Wallace is taking first and Ryan Milligan to hold.
That was a little more grind them out time. It was about 5 minutes. About 4.5 minutes on that one, Kent. So up and down the field we go, but Hand really is looking better. They're starting to congeal right now as we watch them.
Jim Wallace set to kick off back to East Lyme. 2:41 left first quarter, and we've had 3 scores already. Willis hits a floater. Oh, we love seeing
That's powerful right there.
Jim Willis, I believe, has been lifting weights. He was a skinny kid last year. He looks a lot stronger this year and is kicking it farther.
Jimmy's a heck of a nice young man, and he really puts a lot of effort into his craft, and it's paying off. Kicks like that will help him get into a college position if you'd like.
We'll get a few of the defensive players here. Number 9 that is playing defensive backfield is Tim Sullivan. And stuffs that one up the middle, so that's only a gain of less than a yard.
Now that was the center line holding court down there on that particular series. Matt Mesa right at the nose tackle position. And he was able to hold his own enough for a Super K and the knife to come in on those plays.
We got a temporary halt in the action here while Nick Ricano fixes his chin strap.
Anyway, Wallabies back.
And the 4 down lineman. There's a run to the left, and that one is tackled by Kishwala on the backfield. Number 76 linebacker shot the gap and met his man in the backfield.
Absolutely did. He stayed at home, waited for the play to start to develop, and then he just took off into that open position. He could see the way the blocking scheme was going. Could tell they were going to bring the man up the center, I think, and he read it perfectly. Nice move for a sophomore.
So, that play was Kishwala stuffed that play for about a 4-yard loss. It's 3rd down and about 13. The quarterback straight back, looking to throw. He's going to throw across the middle, complete pass, tackled immediately. And that's number 30, money in on the tackle, Nick Ricano. Stopped his man short. Bring up 4th and long for East Lyme.
Well, that's that play that when you bring somebody across on a 3rd and long, you really want to try to get to your first down position, and he didn't even begin to get out that far.
That was a good short tackle, and it stopped the play. 6 yards to go for a 1st down. Hand drops Daryl Noble and Bob Duggan to receive this punt. And we're inside of a minute in the first quarter. Hand leading 14-7. First punt of the season. And a flag is thrown before the play starts. Too much time.
Push it back another 5.
Push it back a little bit. Hand ought to get this in good field position. They should get it near midfield probably.
34 seconds remaining in that first period of play, Ken. Boy, it seemed to have shot by with all the offense we've had.
I found my first number that I don't have on my roster here.
Oh, really?
There's a 91 out there, and
No way, that's right.
coaches and his mother know who he is. That's a short punt.
Very short. Got to get out of the way.
And if it doesn't hit anybody, it's going to bounce backwards down at the 34-yard line.
The hand players.
Inside of a half a minute in the first quarter, and a short punt. Hand gets it back in great field position.
They were coaches were getting nervous on the sideline while that punt was up in the air. As the hand players weren't getting out of the way of it. He certainly didn't want it to just come down and tag somebody on the back and give it to East Lyme.
That was almost a shank punt. He didn't hit that one solid on the foot at all.
I thought I detected a little offensive movement.
The hand players think it's against it.
I guess so. It must have been. Yes,
Lined up outside.
that's what it was.
Take the ball back to the 29. There's only 10 seconds left in the first quarter, and they're not going to get this play off before the end of the quarter, probably. And 3 seconds at this point.
No.
And there's the end of the first quarter of the first game of the season against East Lyme. Daniel Hand leading East Lyme 14-7.
Well, it certainly was an action-packed first period of play here. taking a shot at that scoreboard down there, and we've asked our cameraman Steve Fuse to try to get a little bit of that sunset. Absolutely gorgeous September evening down here, Kent.
We want this kind of weather for every football game all fall, right?
Every single football game all fall, you're right. It'd be marvelous. We did luck out last year a few times, like in November at Hill House in shirt sleeves. Not to mention the championship game was almost just as good. But anyway, anybody at home listening to the game and watching, come on down or follow the team. Great way to spend a Friday night. Every game this year is Friday night, except the Thanksgiving Day game, which will be in Guilford at 10:30 on Thanksgiving morning.
As we begin the second quarter, at 29.
That particular play didn't fool the white jerseys at all. But that's going to happen on occasion. Second about 5, you read it? Well, the band's in good form. They already are at mid-season form down there, under the command of the maestro.
Field for a hand is number 36, Dan Anderson, in the fullback position. Rolling to the right, and
good Viking penetration down there. Actually, one of their players was getting a hand on Ryan as he was releasing the ball, which actually caused it to go long like that.
Now we're bringing up third down and almost 5. I believe Coach Philippone likes Milligan's arm. He's letting him throw the ball quite a bit. First game.
That's right, letting him unload it a little bit.
Milligan rolls right, look at his throw again. Now he's throwing it.
Well, Bobby Duggan usually is going to catch that one, but you knew he was running out of space down there and going to have to turn it up. And I think he was starting to turn it before he got the ball.
But they're inside the 30, so probably go for
It's just a little bit. If that was 10 yards further in, I think they'd probably let Jimmy Willis try a shot. But need that extra 10 yards, I think.
On this play, Duggan is step right to the right. The rest of them are fairly tight. Dan Green is in the slot right.
I'm going to let him roll.
He's rolling right, and blocking is pretty good. This time it's complete.
He's short.
Give him the first down.
I think it is.
Bob Duggan makes a catch just across the 20, out to 21. That's a first down.
Yes. And that's what Bobby did. He got out there, he made sure he was past the line marker, and I was afraid he was going to go short of the way he's twisting, but he didn't. He stayed, did a great job on that.
I like that call. After Bob Duggan dropped one, he should have caught. They came right back to him, and he didn't drop that.
Bobby D's a good man out there. And that showed Ryan really did a nice job, too, keeping...
Just outside the 20. And rolling left.
Nice pitch. Oh, nice move.
He beats one man and gets about 4 or 5 yards. Good effort over there to get that.
That was a solid play because it may not have looked as pretty as it was, but there was really some good thinking on all players at that time.
That was a pure option play to the left that Milligan was going to pull down and run, and that's one defensive man took him, which he did, and so he pitched it out.
Yes.
And Darren Noble breaks through and takes it down near the 10.
I mean, another first down. I think so. And it's going to be right on the line marker, the 10-yard line marker, I think. No, just shy of it. I think. Oh, they're going to measure.
They're going to measure. Too close to call from our angle.
I think so. I think so.
Time out for measurement.
We're seeing some little different things, Kent, out of the hand offense this year. And
bringing the sticks in one more time. He's been doing this for 98 years. First down for him.
First and 10.
that's all it takes. ball. Danny Carroll will probably find it. Then
Dan Carroll, the ball player. Tackle by number 74, Dave
a
Bassett.
bit of a dirty move down there on one of the Viking players. He made the tackle and tried to twist Dan's legs as he was rolling him.
Nice of the center. 51 is the left guard, and that's Todd McLaughlin. Dan Carroll is the fullback. Daryl Noble gets the ball with the tailback. He's got a hole in it. Heads in the end zone. He thinks the lost defender in the end zone with him.
Nice.
To one and bowled him over.
Nice blocking again. That's the thing you'll watch for, really, first this season. How did that blocking scheme starts to take hold? We're seeing it.
We saw a little power out of Daryl Noble there. Defensive man met him at the 1 yard line. They went on into the end zone.
Yes, so power on power, and Daryl took him. Early in the season.
Jim Willis set to kick off back to East Lyme. East Lyme has 3 men standing between the 5 and the 10. Willis hits a floater that's going to bounce on another 20. Still rolling, picked up at about the 15, and he's going to be tackled at about the 25. Number 9, I see getting off the bottom of that tackle. That's Tim Sullivan.
The first contact was made by Danny Carroll out there, but he wasn't able to quite get him. But he slowed him down a little bit. But I think that was a planned kick like that, trying to get a little work down there.
Together at about the 26. We have a little over 8.5 minutes left before the half, so plenty of time for East Lyme. And hand it off to the first man right up the middle. And they're running right at number 44 in there on defense is Andy Parks. In on that tackle, and so was 76 Kishwala, Viral Kishwala. I have a feeling we're going to have to learn to pronounce his name, Frank. He's in on a lot of plays.
Special K, that's what we call him.
Special K. You got a nickname for him already?
You got. Parks did a nice job holding his own on nose down there.
About a 5-yard gain on that carry. And if they're running on a sweep to the left, and Hand has got a defense pretty well. It's carried out of bounds. That's Andy Parks there.
Danny Glenn?
And Danny Glenn.
Danny Glenn took
him
him
that
on.
play and stopped it short of a first down.
That was helmet to helmet. Dan Glenn was able to push him out. Nice job.
Well, stopped at about the 34, so that brings up 3rd and 2. Is Ryan Connolly, one of the down linemen in the Hand defense. Right over center. He's playing middle guard, nose position, and a man breaks through and gets a big gain. Finally, Dan Glenn catches him from behind.
And Walby was sitting up there in safety and came up to close. Made him have to do a little juking out there, and they were able to bring him down.
That was a bit of a misdirection type run, and went for good yardage for East Lyme.
Well, the Hand linemen and linebackers actually sucked up on the fakes on that.
First down at the 47. We have 7.5 minutes left in the first half. And Hand trying to dig in to keep their lead at 2 touchdowns. Quarterback hands off over the middle, and another big run. Man breaks through the line of scrimmage and finally is tackled down about the 20.
Bobby Duggan came from the corner. He really sprinted to get out there and bring him down.
Well, we can't be tackling everybody from behind, Frank, or there's going to be a score pretty quick here.
Give away an awful lot of real estate that way. But that was, again, if you give the kudos that time, it was really to the Lyme offensive line. They broke a real wide open hole down there.
And East Lyme has some big kids in that line there. Most of them are bigger than Hand's line. And it's run up the middle again and breaks through for 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, they've
big gain tackled by Dan Carroll.
They've been able to find something down there in Hand's line that they're able to kind of move aside a bit and take advantage of it. You're right, we don't have any weights and measures on the East Line team, but you can see just by the look of them the size.
That was about an 8-yard gain, and the ball now rests at about the 12. So Hand's defensive line is getting moved off the ball a little bit. It's handed off to the left side, and the man breaks through, heading for the end zone. And a touchdown for East Lyme. That was a good run.
They double fake and pitch to the third man out there, and boy, that was effective.
Yeah, they faked the 2 men going into the line and going to the right and gave it to a man swinging around the left, and he had quite a bit of real estate to go.
I mean, I hadn't seen him set up, but I think he really had set up as almost like just a mild flanker out there and was able to do it.
So East Lyme trying to add the 14th point on this conversion try. Good snap, good placement, and kicked up. And now the score is Daniel Hand 21, East Lyme 14 with 6:21 left in the first half.
That was quite an authoritative kick there, too. So East Lyme looks like their place kicker can do a pretty hefty job out there.
I think we've had 5 touchdowns and no turnovers in a quarter and a half in the opening game of the season. A lot of offense so far, not much defense.
No, I don't think we've seen an opening game with this much offense, except it was kind of one-sided. Sometimes Hand's play was one-sided over East Lyme, but East Lyme's fighting back strong.
This is not a one-sided game at this point. It's a short kick and fielded at about the 20 by Bob Duggan, heading up the middle. And he brings it back to near the 35.
About 14 comeback yards with that. All right, let's see how the offensive line can keep it going. I see Chad Taylor getting out there. There, get Kushwaller, Taylor on this side. Of course, Matt Mesa coming out for the huddle.
That's 70, that's McLaughlin on the other side. Or no, excuse me, that's Ed Drew. Pitch to the right to Darrell Noble, who hits a hole, a big hole. Darrell Noble's going to turn around, and he's all the way down near the 30-yard line. Finally wrestles down at about the 32.
He carried a man on his back for about 5 yards, too. Nice break, some nice blocking, but Darrell got an awful lot of that himself once he passed the line of scrimmage. Now was McLaughlin's on the left guard.
So they're going to spot it actually at the 34, but a good carry by Darrell Noble showed the good quickness. So Dan Carroll moves to the tailback position. Noble takes a break and hand it off right up the middle.
And Anderson.
That's Anderson carrying the ball. He bulls straight forward. 36, Dan Anderson.
Well,
6'1", 210-pound sophomore. He's a pretty good-sized boy.
He is a good-sized boy. If we remember, his brother was playing down lineman both ways as a junior. Well, actually, it was 3 years. And he carried 220 or 30 pounds. I don't think was 6'1", so...
Gain of about 3 on that last carry. Brian Milligan swings to the right. Now he brings it down, going to carry it, and he's down about the 26. Going to be a couple of yards short of a first down.
He again was running the option that time, and he had a place to pitch it if he wanted it to, but he thought he could sneak it inside and did a nice job with it. Got about 5.
Well, they got 3rd and 2. Dan Carroll back in at fullback. Darrell Noble at tailback. And it's pitched to Noble. Noble swinging to the right, and he's brought down by the collar. Looks like he may be just short of a first down. Well, maybe they gave him enough forward progress here.
Possibly.
We'll see. First down.
They're giving it to him. Geez, I thought that was needed measuring. But they're not knowing? Well, yeah, I guess so.
First down between the 23 and 24.
Well, that time Darrell did run out of real estate also on the sidelines.
That was a tackle by the collar.
He absolutely grabbed the shoulder pads right at the neck and brought him down. Not a sure way to doing it, but it got the job done.
Ryan Milligan all the way at quarterback so far. Quick handoff to Dan Carroll, who breaks through the line of scrimmage down near the 10. There's a flag again late.
Good second effort.
An extra yellow flag came in right at the end of that play. Eric Becker was out in front of it blocking.
I think it's the first we've seen of Eric in there, isn't it?
It looks like a face mask, I believe, against East Lyme. So that will be half the distance to the goal. They'll put the ball about the 5-yard line with a first down with 3.5 minutes left in the first half.
5-yard line.
First and goal.
Greg Walby split wide left. Carroll and Noble behind Milligan in the backfield.
Yeah, they're gonna
Eric
come
Becker
inside.
in the slot right.
Gonna go right.
And they're going to go right, and Darrell Noble takes it down near the goal and in. Darrell Noble carries it in over right guard, right tackle. He went right behind Big Kishwala.
Yeah, you could see big Eric Becker lining up back in a flank position down there, and you could tell he was beating on a linebacker, and he did. He got him out of the way, gave enough room for Noble, and the Noble one took it in.
So that's Hand's fourth score in the first half. We have 3:20 left in the first half. Jim Willis to try the conversion. Good snap, good placement, and Willis hits it high. Did he make it? No, just left. Hit it just a little bit hooked, too much beyond the left upright. So the score now is 27-14. Daniel Hand leading with 3:20 left on the clock. After Hand's fourth score in the first half, Jim Willis set to kick off again. He's getting a lot of practice tonight.
A lot of practice, and we just heard from the statistician that during the first period there we had a very easy, even carrying between Noble and Carroll. Noble with about 49 yards and Carroll 47.
Ball is picked up at about the 18, and he's going to be brought down about 32. Bulldogged over on the far side by number 36.
Yeah, Dan Anderson.
Van Anderson makes the tackle, and a sure one. He didn't get by him at all.
No, and you know, the runner was really doing a nice job trying to set up the defensive player. Dan didn't bite.
So East Lyme tests Hand's defense once more. They scored twice in the first half, and Hand has scored 4 times, and a run right up the middle, and that play is stopped by Kishwala.
Well,
That play ended very abruptly when number 76 was in front of the ball carrier. Somebody else had him around the ankles. I didn't see who had the...
just kind of teed him up so that the super special K could take him. By the way, statistician Paul is just telling us that unofficially, Darrell Noble has 106 yards here in his first half.
So excellent running game by Hand in the first half. 2nd and 9, quarterback straight back, looking to throw. Now he unloads. It's short, bounces in. Coverage there by number 30, who is Nick Riccano, and Eric Becker was breathing hard on the quarterback at the time he threw it.
Eric Becker does a dynamite job coming in on the quarter, putting pressure. I remember that from last year. He did just a tremendous job. He also has good drop back as well, but he really seems to be able to go in and close off and do a nice chase.
He likes those naked blitzes once in a while too.
He does. And a little bit of his lacrosse background.
They're down and 9. Quarterback straight back, looking to throw. There's a man chasing the quarterback, and the man is slowed up by number 30. Ricano and finished off by a couple of other hand players, but they had that screen pass smelled out.
Ryan Conley's the one who broke through from his nose position and put that heavy pressure on the quarterback, and he actually was the one who came back to finish off on the tackle. Great second and third effort, Ryan.
So Hand with stopping that play short with 1:53 left on the clock and bringing up 4th and 14. They call a timeout to stop the clock to get the ball back with another chance to score in this last almost just short of 2 minutes. For East Lyme, Daryl Noble, Bob Duggan are dropped back between the 35 and 40 for Hand. There's a fake. He's going to run to the right. Now he's trying to throw a long one. And it's intercepted over there by Bobby Duggan.
Bobby D!
Bob Duggan intercepts the ball, takes it out of bounds. Hand gets it at about the 43.
He saw that thing. He read that thing beautifully. Once coming from his back position or receiving position, saw that fake happen. Watched the eyes of the quarterback or throwing man and almost pulled off it. Oh.
He caught that on the dead run. He saw it coming way ahead.
I love it.
With a fake punt, and Hand is in good position. That was a 4th down play. Even if he hadn't caught it, Hand would have the ball. First down at the 42, 1:45 left on the clock.
What's going on down there?
Illegal man downfield.
What do we got? A penalty?
Should be the yeah. Well, see those yard markers on the other side. One's going left, one's going right. Showed the indecision out there.
Help me out, Frank. What do we got here?
Okay, it was an illegal man downfield by the caller thereafter. Hand refused it, the penalty, and therefore they take it over and the spot it went out.
Hand has the ball about the 41.
Minute 45.
So Ryan Milligan rolling right, looking to throw. Now he's going to bring it down and run it a bit, across the 40, and that's all. Gained about 3.
That's too bad. He was seen in the white shirts in close on that one. Bobby Duggan was open way back, but Ryan had to make his decision, so he tucked it down and took it in. But there was a bevy of Viking jerseys in
so
there.
Hand calls their second timeout with 2nd down and 8 coming up just across the 40.
Yeah, no sense of taking those timeouts into the locker room.
After Hand's second timeout, and now 2nd and 8 just across the 40. Dan Carroll at fullback, Daryl Noble at tailback. Ryan Milligan has the ball rolling right, and the ball is tipped out of bounds, incomplete pass, aiming for Bob Duggan on the sideline. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Nothing too special on that one. Nothing took hold very well from the offensive standpoint. Defense was pretty good on the follow.
East Lyme had quite a few defenders over here near the sideline. Even if Bob Duggan had caught it, there wasn't much room to run.
Well, you know, you're starting really on that, right near the hash mark on this side. When you roll to the right, you really run out of land very quickly down there.
So this time Dan Glenn doesn't know where to line up. It's a cross buck, and Dan Carroll is going to carry it inside the 35, and that's all. That will bring up 4th down for Hand and about 3 to go. And that's their last timeout taken with 1:25 left on the clock before the half. Okay, here we go. Steve, we'll pick it up a little bit early because on 4th down and 3 for Hand, Jim Willis is out, and he has that tee spotted right on the 40-yard line, which would mean a 50-yard field goal try. I'm anticipating a fake on this one. What about you?
Absolutely, because he doesn't have it the normal drop back as well. Normally he's going to have it back another 5 more yards. But that's asking the line to do an awful lot to...
Jim Willis has got a strong leg, but most college kickers wouldn't have much of a shot at this one.
Ryan can't be on a knee when he catches the ball.
So Ryan Milligan is down to hold, and Jim Willis looks like he's going to try a 50-yarder. And he boots it, and it's a long one. That may be long enough. Not quite. Just short.
Just short. Oh, man.
Jim Willis tried a 50-yard field goal and missed it by about 3 yards.
But you know, I think that the defensive team didn't think he had a prayer of making it either, because they didn't really pressure to come in on that.
I think Jim Willis showed his coach something there that he may get a chance to kick a few other field goals that are makeable. I didn't think that one was anywhere near makeable.
I didn't either.
But he almost did it.
We really couldn't tell. We had to wait from this angle and this distance away for the referees to put their hands up, because I wasn't really sure if it had crossed or not.
It was on line, but just short. And the quarterback for East Lyme with a long throw, and a flag is down. I saw a flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage on that.
Probably a hold then.
Threw it up for grabs.
The hand had that very well covered.
This is an entertaining football game, Frank. Both teams are trying all sorts of things. They're not sitting on the ball.
Yeah, you bet. A lot of fun to watch.
Flag on the play.
Again, anybody at home is missing a great night out. When they're watching this Monday or Wednesday nights,
we do have a good crowd here tonight for opening night. There are people standing around the edge. The stands are basically full, and we're coming up with a little over a minute left, and we will try to pick up some of the band with Dick Fasano's band at halftime. Penalty is refused, whatever it was. 2nd and 10 at the 20 for East Lyme.
And they're going long
and
again.
They're going long again, and they're throwing down the middle and almost intercepted. Kishwalla dropped back in coverage from his linebacker position to 30 and almost had his first interception.
Special K had a shot at it, but I think he was surprised to see it coming.
He's the biggest kid out there for a hand, and here he was dropped 10 yards back in coverage on pass plays. And he was right where he needed to be. 3rd and 10 for East Lyme. And back to throw again, and it's a long throw to the right side and dropped on the far sideline, which will bring up 4th and 10 for East Lyme with 1:03 left.
There'll be some time on the clock.
We got a chance for a run back here. And has used all 3 of their timeouts, as I recall, haven't they, Frank?
I believe so. Yeah, they did, as they used the last one. Unless it was the time it was called was an East Lyme call.
We'll see if Coach Philippon has had a chance to work with his kids yet on setting up a blocking wall for Darrell Noble or Bob Duggan here. Noble and Duggan are dropped back near midfield. So it's a high punt, or high snap, almost over the punter's head. Fair catch by Noble. He finally picks it up, and now he's down. He muffed the punt, picked it up, and was stopped down at the 47. That was a pretty good punt.
That was. Certainly wasn't like one of the earlier ones that was shanked badly, but he did get a pretty good foot into that one. With 56 seconds remaining in the first half.
Hand's got a chance to break something here, but they need to get it to one of their fast kids if they're going to do it.
Well,
56 seconds left on the clock.
Really need
no timeouts.
15 or 20 yards, and they can let Jimmy try again.
That's right. Milligan is rolling right, looking to throw, and now he's looking for number 5 down there.
Yes!
He's got it. And out of bounds at the 26.
Come on,
Walby, Greg Walby.
Nice thinking by Walby out there.
He not only caught the ball for a long gainer, but he immediately got out of bounds to stop the clock at 50 seconds.
And he had to come back after it a little bit, too, which gave him a little bit more he had to think about. But for
so they're,
sophomore,
they're within Jim Willis's range already.
Now you just got to keep the time on the board to let Jimmy try again or go all the way.
But they don't have any timeouts, so they can't waste it. Bob Duggan, incomplete pass near the sideline. 2nd and 10, 47 seconds.
I think Ryan put a little bit too much on that time. Bobby wasn't able to, psych it out well enough to pull it in. Ryan had a lot of adrenaline pumping on that particular throw.
They're covering those sideline throws pretty well. He almost...
I like to see him go opposite side where Duggan's headed now.
Duggan's got the open side of the field to the far side this time, and Glenn is on the right side.
Eric Becker's on the way out from a tight end
Milligan is rolling to the left, and there's a man open down there. It's almost caught in the end zone by Bob Duggan. A good throw by Milligan. In and out of the hands of Bob Duggan in the end zone.
That was just starting to run out of gas, that particular throw, way down there in the corner. And
Bobby Duggan had a step or two on his defender there in the end zone.
looked like he kind of was stumbling just a bit to try to stretch for that.
He was turned the wrong way, it looked like, didn't it? So 3rd and 10. One more shot here before we see Jim Willis out again if they don't get it.
Eric Becker again in there, tight end. He did go out in the pass pattern.
And Milligan stumbles a little bit. Now he's throwing long, and that's Walby down there.
He's got it!
Walby makes a beautiful catch in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown hand.
And he took it out of the hands of the East Lyme.
Greg Walby beat 2 defenders down there and reached back and took it away from one of the defenders. A beautiful play.
Right there was close to being a jump ball.
Hand may not win all their games this year, Frank, but they promise to be entertaining, I do believe.
Yeah, well, they might able to get some offense running here, that's for sure.
So a nice pass from Ryan Milligan to Greg Walby, his first varsity touchdown for hand. Jim Willis to try the conversion, and he hits this one hard right down the middle.
Right.
It's a score to 34-14. Daniel Hand leading. 35 seconds left, first half.
You know, we're still, I mean, it'll take us a couple of games, Kent, to get used to this roster and everything. And I was just looking at Greg Walby trying to pick off his size. He's 6'3", 170 pounds. He's a sophomore. So you're going to see him put on some more weight, size, speed. And he and Milligan can be together for a couple of years out here.
Got good hands on that last play.
He does, and had good thought process in the prior one that he caught just before going out of bounds that he had to turn around on.
I was watching him going down the sideline. He was only running a foot or so inbounds,
Yes.
all the way down there. I thought maybe he'd get bounced out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he almost had to pick his leg up around the pylon down there.
Jim Willis is going to wear out his right leg before this game is over. He's back to kick off again.
Well, let's see. Hand picked the ball up that time with 55 seconds remaining, doesn't it? Now there's 35 remaining, and we have a touchdown and 7 more points on the board.
34 points in the first half. Jim Willis, he may hit this one low and try to protect against any long run back. And he does. He gets a grounder, and it's fielded and down at the 30. That's a safe play, however. No touchdown is going to be run back on that kick.
That's right, and you know what? I think East Lyme's probably happy with it too. They get it in good field position. Anytime you plus the 20, you're going to say, okay.
Down at the 30-yard line, East Lyme will take over, 1st and 10 on their own 31.
Well, the score with 34-14 seems like a big score, but East Lyme can put some numbers up. We've already seen them move quickly.
And they've got a quarterback that can throw that ball.
He does. He's got some arm.
And he's going to throw it right now.
He's got a man open,
Air it
too.
out right down the middle.
Nice
And it's,
knockdown.
knocked down by number 30, Nick Ricano. Ricano drops back from inside linebacking position and gets a hand on that ball.
What's Ricano playing at? 6'2", 240, is he?
6'2", 240. I think he's a little short of that.
Oh, 5'6", 145. I see.
He's not real big, but
He
he's
plays 6'3".
he plays a little larger. He and Tishwala are both dropping back into coverage, and the quarterback is being flushed out. Now he's going to pass to the near sideline, and
Nice.
a short tackle by Eric Becker.
Oh, that's one to put in the training films right there. Eric Becker on the tackle.
Both hands wrapped around him, and that runs out the first half with Daniel Hand leading East Lyme 34-14.
All right.
We will pick up a bit of the halftime action with Richard Fasano and the Daniel Hand High School Marching Band.
I'll give you a couple of numbers right off here. We've got also Darrell the Noble at 110 yards during the first half of rushing here. And we've got Dan Carroll at 68, which is pretty darn good.
That's a good half, too.
That's a good half all by itself. And we've got Milligan in there with, well, that looks like 15 yards of carry from his position. So looking good, guys, looking good.
All right.
Sadness, Kate Heritage, and Greg Hill will bring the band downfield to the Green Truck Railroad hit from the 70s. We're an American band. Let's go Tigers!
Ready to go here. Starting the second period of play, second half of play.
Look at all the kids out in the weeds.
Everybody's here having a good time. 34-14's the score.
He's not on it.
Are you on? Ready to kick off again, so Jimmy Willis, we already have a chance to exercise a little bit more here, Kent.
Yeah, second half, the first game of the year, ready to begin. Jim Willis tried a 50-yard field goal and darn near made it in the first half.
Talking with some of the fans down there, and they said, boy, that thing just missed by a foot.
Was it that close?
Yeah, they said it couldn't have been much more than a foot that thing missed by.
And Darrell Noble, it appears, has over 100 yards in the first half of this game. Jim Willis approaches the ball, and he hits a sailor. Those are hard to catch. It's caught at about the 13, and a good run back, and met by number 9 on the,
nice job
on the
by
defense.
Sully.
That's Tim Sullivan on the defense.
He pulled him down, but boy, there was a nice wedge set up by the offensive team that time. The East Lyme Vikings had that pretty well set up.
And frequently early in the season, you see a few long run backs on kicks. By the way, Frank, Hand has not punted yet, have they? I'm not sure who their punter is. Is Hominick going to be the punter this year?
Either he or Danny Glenn. Of course, Danny's done most of the punting in the past, but Hominick did a little bit and was a freshman punter most of the time. Oh, nice tackle on the
tackle
before the
right at
pitch.
the line of scrimmage. That one is.
Oh,
That was 52 Mesa that made that tackle.
Mesa and Connolly, they both came through there like gangbusters. Of course, Connolly always takes it up. I mean, that nose tackle position really has to suck up the energy from the other team's players. did a nice job, but he still was able to nosedive under there.
64 is the nose tackle, playing right opposite the center. And threw that one for a 2-yard loss, 2.5-yard loss.
That was nice.
And another run up the middle, and that one isn't going to get much.
Okay, hand is picked up on something.
Defense there. Eric Becker is in on the top of that tackle. Both arms wrapped around the ball carrier.
Eric Becker's a good tackler, a good basic tackler. We've seen that in the past. Saw it earlier in the game with one-on-one tackle down here.
That brings up 3rd and 11 for East Lyme. First 2 running plays didn't get much.
Those were the areas they made some capital on as far as the first half
Hand
goes.
is spread out, looking for pass defense here.
Working hard.
And complete pass, and a good pass right over one defender. Bobby Duggan makes the tackle, but a first down. Excellent play by East Lyme.
Yeah, they held the pocket very, very well, and it worked the way it was supposed to because it gave the quarterback plenty of time. Hand was closing in, but they couldn't get through the pocket.
The Hand had a man behind the receiver and one in front, and the quarterback threw it just high enough to clear the front man and just in front of the back one. So an excellent play by East Lyme. First down at the 45. Split backfield and a reverse, and a wide open side of the field over on this side. He's going to go for a long one. The man cuts back and he's going to go all the way. That's going to be a touchdown for East Lyme, all the way to the end zone. An excellent run and a good call. East Lyme has a man down at the 10-yard line, hurt on that play, but no flags. Touchdown for East Lyme, and they're back in this game. They're not too far away.
No, it doesn't take long with breakouts like that to be able to close up the score. That reverse worked to a T. Hand did get sucked in too tight. There was no contain on this outside, which you have to watch for. I don't think the young men will have that happen again, but it was a long breaker and made the points they needed.
So the attempt for the conversion to add point number 21. Good snap, good hold, and their kicker boots it hard too.
He gets a lot of distance out of that thing, very accurate.
And he hit it over by first base of the Little League field to bring the score to 34-21.
Yes, and you're looking at about the amount of time it took Hand to score during the first period of play, for Hand's first score, about a little over 2.5 minutes, or in the 2.5 minute range. So we'll see.
The kickoff back to Hand, Darrell Noble and Bob Duggan back deep to receive. And it's hit long to Noble, fields it at about the 12, and it's a reverse to Duggan. Duggan swings it to the right side, and he's got a lot of white shirts to beat. Brings it up to about the 32, 33.
Well, I couldn't tell whether Hand was really trying to set up a wall or not on that. It almost looked like they tried because they made it awful porous in the center. But it didn't quite come out the way they wanted.
So Hand has to keep the pressure on here. 2 touchdowns and conversions could beat them.
Coming out of the locker room, you don't want to lose momentum that you went in with. And right now, East Lyme is trying to change that.
And it's a pitch wide to Noble, cuts back and dodges one man, gets another 5 yards after he left one tackler tackling air.
Nice job of sliding that tackle, wasn't it? He really pulled himself right out of the arms and was able to get 5 more yards.
He gained about 8 on that run.
And that, for a defender, is one of the most frustrating things.
Defender was a little embarrassed on that one. He reached for the tackle and came up with nothing.
Didn't even have any grass in his hands.
One thing about the first game of the year, Frank, we have had really no turnovers.
No, haven't had that at all. Okay, Chris Gavin just went in. You haven't seen his number in there, but Chris is in, number 69.
And it's run right up the middle. Noble gets the first down and more. And they bend him back, and there's about 6 men trying to take his head off on that tackle.
That was a little more than gang tackling. Luckily, the one underneath him was a white jersey, too.
So Daryl Noble adds about another 5 yards to his total. First down for Hen at the 46. We're early in the third quarter. East Lyme has scored again, so they brought it within 13 points. An option play to the left, and Daryl Noble is hemmed in on the far side for a loss. Loses about 4 yards.
He really had no place to go that time. That was well read as far as the defense goes.
Defense, one man took the quarterback, and another man had good contain on the outside to keep Daryl Noble from turning the corner. That will bring up second down and 13. 3-yard loss. Milligan rolling right, looking to throw. There's a man open, wide open,
Glenn.
complete pass to Glenn. He's short of a first down, but a good gain.
Nice pickup there, about 10 yards worth.
Gained about 10, yeah.
And actually had two men there, Bob Duggan and Dan Glenn, within about 5 yards of each other. And Dan Glenn, picking the ball up, was able to use Duggan as a pick, basically.
Third and about 1.5 yards for Hen. And they're pitching wide to Noble, and Noble cuts it inside, and he's going to be close to a first down, depending on where they mark it.
Yeah, depending on momentum.
Referee is marking it a little short of where I saw him go.
Yeah, I think
he doesn't have the first down where they spotted the ball.
And technically, it's supposed to be where the ball was. And
he had another full yard beyond that, I believe. But that's going to bring up 4th and 1.
They're still not going to kick it. It's about 4 yards out of Willis' range.
So they're going to run it on 4th down and short.
Sneak it, maybe?
And a power eye for Hen. Run up the middle, and there's Dan Carroll for the first down, almost to the 40.
Nice job of that power eye.
He followed Anderson. 36 was in to block. Power eye strong to the right and just run behind the big right tackle, Kishwala, and surge forward for about 5 yards. There wasn't any hesitation there about whether or not to go for it or punt. First down for Hen. That's 6:20 left, third quarter. And off to Noble, cutting back to the left, and he's got about 3 or 4. And East Lyme makes sure that they have about 6 guys tackling him on every carry.
Every one of the tacklers got to weigh more than Daryl does, but that doesn't seem to make any difference to Daryl. The Noble one really takes it into him.
Gain of a little over 3 on that last carry.
Andy Glenn coming out and Walby's in over on the far side.
Anderson flanked to the right side. And a strong run and a good hole. Daryl Noble busts the clear up to the 30, first down.
The tight end was in on this side too, along with the flanker.
That was a 9 or 10 yard burst by Noble for a first down. He's piling up yardage. He had over 100 at the half.
He's got another 20 or so anyway. He did have a negative carry, but he's looking at 120 or 30 yards on the evening so far.
So Daryl Noble is going to get a breather here. Dan Carroll in at the fullback position, and who's
more?
Who's in at? Is that Ricano? No, 20.
Oh, how about that, Carroll? Oh man, did he dive through
Dan
there?
Carroll carries back with him down inside the 20.
Yeah, that was Monroe, Jeff Monroe.
Jeff Monroe was in at the fullback position, and Dan Carroll went to the tailback on that play.
Oh man, that was a neat play. Jeff Monroe is also a sophomore. Everybody talks very well of him. He had a great freshman year.
And Monroe's back in at fullback.
He's a 186-foot player for a sophomore.
Pitch to the right side, and a big hole for Noble. Noble takes it inside the 10. And a late hit. And no flag.
Yeah, you hear. Not only
came in late with the elbows
right on the neck too. You heard me pretty well get angered at that, as well as the fans down in front of us.
That was a 9-yard gain by Daryl Noble, who had good blocking off the right side.
Second and a foot there.
Second and short. Carroll at fullback will probably get the ball, and he does, right up the middle. He didn't need much, and he probably has it. That's a first down for a hand, about the 8, first and goal.
Kind of interesting. They had, the defenders had that well read too. They expected exactly what they got. And still, Danny was able to get a good yard or so out of that.
Hand's philosophy has always been to not necessarily try to trick the other team. They may know what's coming, but whoever executes best is going to be successful with it. And Daryl Noble takes it off the right side, still churning the legs into the 5.
Whoa! Look at those interior linemen coming off the front of that wedge out there. They really got themselves downfield.
So Daryl Noble takes it to the 5. Second and goal.
Yes.
We have 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Hand leading 34-21. Number 5, Walby, split wide left. Everybody else in tight. Carroll and Noble in the backfield. And pitch to Noble. Got it right, and Noble for the end zone, standing up. Touchdown Hand.
He took a nice move off Chad Taylor being in front of him there. Was able to bounce around to the right of Chad and get the TD.
And Mac Dolan was also escorting that one into the end zone from his tight end position. Tight ends for Hand are mainly blockers. Another tackle out there on the end of the line.
And they're heavily trained to do exactly that job.
Nate Fisher is one of the linemen in the line here. As we try the conversion, Jim Willis in the kick. And Willis hits it long and high and good.
Come on!
He put that one clear out in the parking lot. So Hand extends their lead to 41-21 at 3:16 left third quarter.
Oh, Noble's in. Jeez,
ready to kick off back to East Lyme. We notice that Chris Gavin is in. He's another sophomore. In on the coverage of the kick return.
Kind of surprised that Daryl Noble's in on special teams.
Jim Willis to hit the ball at the 40. And he hits a high one, long one this time, and it's fielded at the 5-yard line. Will be run back on the far side, and the man is down at about the 24.
Down on his own steam is what happened on that. He went to make his cut, and his feet went out from under him. But you might say he had it scared out of him because all the black jerseys were closing in on him.
So that ball carried on the fly to the 5-yard line, clear over in the corner. Those are a little hard to run back. 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and East Lyme has the ball again. And it's a run right up the middle. And man is still going, and he's got several Hand players hanging on to him.
Oh, he's hanging on beautifully down there.
And
Eric Becker.
76 is a big
Special K again.
Viro Kishwala, Special K.
Eric Becker did a nice job. He really wrapped tight. And the runner had gotten some pretty good distance on that coming through, and Eric came over from his linebacker position, wrapped him well.
The corners on this defense are Eric Becker on one side, Mac Dolan on the other. Glenn and Duggan covering the wideouts. The deep men are Carroll and Walby. It's a misdirection and up the middle, a long gainer. The man is finally wrapped up and brought down at the 45. But the safeties have to make the tackle from behind to save another touchdown.
Well, actually, the final tackle was helped out by Eric Becker coming from way back in his linebacker position. The play had gone way past him, and he came back on second effort.
East Lyme has a neat little play there where they've got backfield runners going in all directions, and it's a misdirection.
No misdirection, a little mistiming is what that causes the defense to happen. They already set up and start their follows, and boom, opens up on them.
First down at the 44, and it's brought back to the near side, and a gain of only a couple. Tackled by Mesa, and Kishwala is in there.
East Lyme really had a little mix-up themselves on that, a little mistiming because they had not a clean handoff because of a collision. On the fake coming through, the quarterback kind of collided with the running back, and almost missed his handoff.
We've got Nate Fisher in the line, and Ryan Connolly has to run off the left side. A misdirection again. Finally dragged down. Dan Glenn has a hold of him, and Walby comes over to help. But a long gain of first down.
That was Sullivan. Timmy Sullivan came in. It was Walby. Was getting a little breather.
Was that Sullivan?
Yeah. But that's the same play that broke open for him.
So Coach Philippon will probably be talking defense a little bit in practices next week.
I would say so.
They're being run at quite a bit, and a run up the middle, one tackle missed. Finally, Kishwalla is in on the tackle. Kishwalla and Fisher.
Yeah, Nate
Fisher finished off the tackle.
He made a very authoritative tackle himself on that.
About a 4-yard gain, and we're inside half a minute left in the third quarter. Clock running. They may get one more running play off in this quarter.
And he's got to stiffen the defense a little bit here.
East Lyme splits two men wide right. And misdirection, run to the right, and man turns the corner inside the 15, a first down.
As we're going to go to the fourth
The clock
quarter.
says 1 second. As soon as they wind it up again, we'll switch ends for the fourth quarter. So that runs out the third quarter with Daniel Hand leading 41-21 after 3 quarters of the opening game of the season against East Lyme. As we begin the last 12 minutes of this football game, it's a 20-point lead for Hand, but the East Lyme is moving the ball again. They're down to the 15. A first down, and another misdirection, and it's swung back to the right, and Hand is in there on that one.
Nicely read. Everybody stays to home.
Kishwalla and Mesa make the tackle. With help by Jeff Monroe is in on that tackle too. So Hand had 3 defenders there. Lost a yard.
All right, actually a loss of about a yard on that play. So as we say, means for a good read on that play. It has been working for him.
East Lyme splits 2 men wide left. And the quarterback hands off the first man, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage.
Nice pickup.
That was number 30 that made that tackle. That's Riccano. Nick Riccano met the ball carrier right in the hole and stuffed the play. No gain.
As we say, he's a great wrestler, and he did a nice takedown on that one.
So, first 2 runs here have gained nothing.
3rd and long should be a pass.
3rd and long, 2 men split wide right for East Lyme. The quarterback looking right. And now he's going back left on a screen pass. Hand does have a couple defenders, but the man gets through and heading for the end zone. Touchdown for East Lyme. One referee spotted it just outside, and the other one signals touchdown. And the man who signaled touchdown wins that disagreement.
Well, I think that looked like Hand had that play stopped, and but the pocket held just long enough. The quarterback kept looking, kept checking to his right, checking to his receivers to the right, turned quickly to the left with his...
So they set up a screen to the left, and they had a couple blockers out in front of it, so East Lyme is battling back. Every time Hand scores, they answer it. Placed down and kicked up and good. So that's 28 points for East Lyme and 41 for Hand with 10:37 left in the ballgame.
Well, this is certainly keeping it interesting, because even though it's 10 minutes left, 13-point lead isn't massive. A couple of the notable field hockey players, and see some of the women's soccer players down there right in front of the cheerleaders as we get ready for the kickoff.
East Lyme set to kick off. Noble and Duggan back deep. And it's a kick on the far side, and Noble feels, bobbles, picks it up, and is swinging back to the left side. And Noble is still going. He's got one man to go by. A flag comes in.
Oh, wow.
Flag is thrown, and Noble brings it back near the 39.
That's got to be a blocking problem on that.
That was probably a block from behind there by someone who was trying to get in front of Darrell Noble.
Which is always going to happen when you get a running back trying so hard to get around like that. The only other thing, it might have been a slight face mask thing or something, but I don't think so. No, it's going to go against hand, unfortunately. All that effort by the Noble one, and
he only had one man between him and the goal at one point there.
Yes, that's a tough one.
So that brings it back to the 25. What hand needs at this point is about an 8-minute grind it out on a score at the end to run the clock and also score. Pitch wide to Noble, and Noble dodges one man very nicely and is converged on by a host of tacklers after about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, that's just the word I was thinking, host at the time. He was really hammered by 5 converging white jerseys, but did you notice how he kind of ducked under him? I think they put more impact amongst themselves than they did on him.
He had the first tackler that tackled nothing but air again. 2nd and 7 for him. Ryan Milligan hands off to Dan Carroll. Carroll, a big hole. Carroll heading for the far sideline. One man got an angle on him.
Keep on her.
Now he gets by him. Dan Carroll heading for the end zone, and he's going to take it in.
All right, Danny Carroll. Woo! That'll certainly put him over 100 yards for the night as well.
About a 75-yard run by Dan Carroll.
Oh my word!
Well, they got what they wanted, Frank, but that wasn't really grinded out.
Oh, I'll tell you, that wasn't an easy run either. He showed an awful lot of power, along with his finesse on that one.
One man had an angle on him, the last man, and Dan Carroll juked him.
Yeah.
He slowed up and then put on another burst of speed.
Oh, that would be fun to see in a replay, won't it, huh?
Jim Willis to try the conversion. And Willis hits it up high and long.
That's going in a lot.
Kick is good.
Whoa! Let's get a little of the student body down there, Bob.
Score is Daniel Hand 48, East Lyme 28. They're back to the 20-point lead again.
Yes, we had the bands playing, and the maestro, Fasano, cheerleaders doing their number. You see field hockey players, soccer players, cross country, the whole student body down there.
When the other team scores quickly, the best thing you can do is come right back and score on them.
Answer it back. That was heavy duty. This looks a little bit more like a basketball score going up there now there, Kent.
Jim Willis set to kick off once again. East Lyme has dropped 3 men deep. Willis hits another long high one. That's going to be fielded on the fly in the end zone. Jim Willis puts it a yard deep in the end zone on the fly. And it will be brought out to the 20. That's automatic in high school ball.
How about that, huh? There we go. This is one of my favorite pep songs and cheers down there, folks. You'll see the gang really getting into it down there. All right, we're getting back into play.
They need to play a little defense here someplace, though, Frank. They may need it later in the year.
This is going to start opening up.
East Lyme looking to throw. Across the middle, incomplete, thrown behind the receiver. Dan Carroll and Mac Dolan had dropped back into coverage.
Yeah, he was the young man that caught the last touchdown for East Lyme. Coming from that weak side is what he does. Of course, it was a screen last time out on him, but his name is Ian Byrne. That was behind him, though. Otherwise, he had a pretty good gain going.
We've got Jeff Monroe and Nick Ricano as the inside linebackers. Kishwalla gets a break. And a lot of fake, and the quarterback is coming to the right, and a good tackle out there by number 21, Bobby Duggan.
Bobby D stayed at home, did the
right
job.
at the line of scrimmage. That was a naked reverse by the quarterback, and Bob Duggan stayed right there to meet him. And as East Lyme keeps making running plays, the clock is running for hand.
They got to get open, is what they have to do.
They'll have to open this game up quite a bit before long, and they've got a good passer here. And he's going to pass on this play.
Well, holding right there.
Quarterback is going to throw it as far as he can. It's thrown up for grabs. 3 receivers right there. That's number 9 and 21. That's Duggan.
Boy, I'll tell you.
And Sullivan right by the receiver.
There was some holding going on back there, but the referee didn't even try to go for his flag. But you know, that play alone, you might get an interference call.
It could, but that ball was just thrown up for grabs.
Yes, it was. And they hold that pocket pretty well. And
4th and long for East Lyme. Got 8.5 minutes left in the game. They're not guaranteed that they'll kick here.
No, it's the quarterback doing the kicking, and I hadn't noticed that earlier.
But he does kick it out, eh? And Bobby Duggan receives it, and the ball is stripped, but it's covered by hand. That's number 20 in there in a hurry to recover the ball, Jeff Monroe.
And a nice quick thinking on that. That was real hard.
That was a little dangerous, not to fair catch that.
Yeah, it really was. Bobby D should have thrown his arm up on that. Bobby, you're a real competitor, but when you watch this thing, take care of yourself, guy.
And with the ball back at the 46. And they will probably keep it on the ground and let the clock roll. It's pitched wide to Daryl Noble, and Noble is pushed out of bounds. Laid it out, way out of bounds. That should draw a flag, but it doesn't. The referee was screened by some sideline players.
Yeah, but you know, he really has to watch that stuff, because that's the way a game can get out of hand. And somebody can get hurt.
About a 2-yard gain by Daryl Noble. He was tackled 5 yards out of bounds.
An appropriate song being played, Runaway.
And there goes Dan Carroll up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another one. Finally brought down after a first down. 42-yard line.
Excellent tackle by East Lyme's Jeff Gibson on that. He stayed down and got him, otherwise it was another runaway, as we're hearing down there.
Carroll has had a good game running. If you add in that 70-plus yarder that he got, he's got well over 100 yards too.
Oh, yeah, he had 60 in the first half, and he had 65 in the breakaway, so he's up closing on 140.
The pitch wide this time to number 20.
Boy, he had no hope.
Number 20,
there.
Jeff Monroe carried the ball.
How's that Jeff's second carry on the night, I think? He did have one in the first half there, late in the first half, I think.
Into the game goes Nate Fisher for this play. Out comes number 70, Ed Drew.
Ed Drew has been playing a great game in there.
Matt Mesa over the ball at center. Ryan Milligan all the way at quarterback, and Milligan rolls to the right looking to throw, and there's his man. Incomplete pass. He had 2 receivers right together over there, Glenn and
Duggan.
Duggan.
Yeah, Duggan. They seem to be the Bobbsey twins over on one side there, and it paid off on one of the prior drives. That time didn't quite work out.
We're inside of 7 minutes left in the game. Dan Anderson, Eric Becker both in, and a little confusion of what we're going to do here. Hand takes a timeout.
Yes.
First one of the second half. Third and 11 for Hand at the 43. Split wide right, and Glenn is in the slot right. Milligan rolls out. Now he's going to keep the ball, run to the left side, and knocked out of bounds at the 40.
I got a couple yards on that. Nothing really there that time. I couldn't see where there was a receiver heading out on this tight side either on that one, Ken.
That will bring up 4th down and 8 for Hand.
Time for Jimmy
the
Willis.
40, and that's going to be the first punt for Hand, and that's Mike Hominick back in punt formation for Hand. He's going to try to drop it down inside the 20.
Yeah, he's got
East Lyme deep. Oh, it's a high snap over the kicker's head. And he gets it away! Hominick gets it away all the way down to the 20.
Oh, what a job!
A fine play by Mike Hominick, and he looks like he's hurt. He got run into right after he kicked it, but he got that kick away and put it clear down to the 20-yard line.
Oh, he did. He got crushed right at the end. He got rid of it, but what a heroic job!
That was a super play by the first punt of the season, Mike Hominick. The snap from center was well over his head. He went back and picked it up and saw an alley to kick it in. East Lyme with the ball at the 21.
And again, they've got to unload it. They're 20 points behind.
And they're the tight end for East Lyme. Breaks the line of scrimmage early.
There goes Craig Taylor going in.
Into the game is number 91, Craig Taylor.
He's the one we didn't have the number for in the first half. Thanks to Angel Brown, she was able to, the trainer, she was able to get us the number during halftime.
1st and 15 for East Lyme. And it's a misdirection again. I'm not sure where that ball is, Frank. It went to the left side for a short gain. Gained a couple.
They've got a long ways to go, and they've got to do it, well, they've got about 80 yards to go, and they've got to do it at least 3 times.
They've got to do it 3 times, and the clock is running down to 5.5 minutes left in the game. Second down and about 12 for East Lyme. And they're looking to pass. It's a shovel, but it's fumbled. It's mishandled in the backfield, and it's going to be recovered by East Lyme clear back about the 12.
Yeah, they had started a dive through center on that play, and with a fake, and we're going to pitch it off and come around to the right, and mishandling.
East Lyme will take a timeout because they have had a bad series so far on this possession.
Yeah, they're 3rd and about 18 yards for the first down, deep in their own territory. And I wouldn't be surprised to get the ball back now, start to change some jerseys out there.
Out of the game. Sullivan and Walby are the 2 deep safeties.
Jeff
It is 3rd and very long for East Lyme. They're looking to throw, and they're going to unload it long down the left sideline, and there are 3 defenders there for Hand. Incomplete pass.
Boy, he was
The ball was thrown out over the 40, but Hand had 3 defenders there covering 1 receiver.
Yeah, and the guys did a nice job having the eye on the ball and not taking their attention off the receiver. That way they were going for the ball and there wouldn't be an interference call on that. Quarterback did, though. He lofted that thing from the end zone. So he had a pretty good chuck on that.
He put it over 40 yards in the air, but this is 4th down and 20. They don't have much choice here but to punt it away. Hand has nobody drop deep. They're going to let it go. Now Sullivan drops back a little bit. They're going to wait to make sure he punts. And that's a long punt, and it's just going to roll. Takes a bit of a good roll for East Lyme and a good punt, clear down to the 38.
Sure, and that doesn't make Hand unhappy at all because that gives them a chance to grind it down if they can. It'd be unfortunate if the line kept on opening up the holes and they had to make 20 and 30 yards at a clip. Let's see what we have. One out there.
We have a few new players in the game. Andy Elting, number 68, is one player that just went in.
Okay, new quarterback starting up out there. It's going to be Scott Roberts, number 12, 5'11", 155 sophomore.
And in the running back position is number 7, Dan Brand, and Dan Carroll carrying the ball.
There you go. See, we also have Dan Brand, like you said, he's out there in the inside as a sophomore. We have Adam Soper, I believe, is going in the game.
James Kingsley is in the game. He's a sophomore. James Kingsley is 87. He's a sophomore. Baseball player, good shortstop. Hand off in the backfield and a first down for Hand.
Monroe, I believe.
That was number 20 carried the ball. That was Jeff Monroe.
Yeah, Ed Drew really helped on opening up that line in there.
18 in the game is Evan Peterson. At this point, Coach Steve Philippon and Steve Stacola are making sure everybody gets in the game. Hand it off to first man through, flags down.
Adam Hill going in.
Jeff Monroe.
Adam Hill's a big man. He's in there. He's a junior. He played a lot his freshman year, and then he took last year off for other interests. New snapper, 69, doing the snapping chores. Chris Gavin. Good to get him.
15, but Hand doesn't care because they're inside of 3 minutes, and it's pitched off back deep to Brand, smallest man on the field, and he gets it back to the line of scrimmage. That's Dan Brand, 5'5", 120. He's not big, but he's playing the tailback position now.
And the clock keeps on running now with 2 minutes 36. Peterson coming out.
Second down, and he's going to get blitzed. It's handed off and fumbled in the backfield. There was a man, linebacker blitzed through and had a hold of the quarterback before he could get rid of it.
Yeah, you could see that happening.
It is fumbled and recovered by East Lyme with 2:17 left on the clock.
Now you really see him going for blood out there now.
Scott Roberts had no chance to even hand that ball off. There was a linebacker on the fly right at him as he got the ball.
Very well timed by the linebacker, but when you've already got your blocking mark set up, there's not much that the line can do on a case like that. Now they'll have to open it up even more than they've been trying. They've been trying a little bit of fanciness and everything out there, but pressure, yes!
And it's knocked down. Matt Mesa gets his hand on the pass.
Matt, my man Mesa, look at that.
Matt Mesa came through and grabbed the quarterback's arm as he was starting to throw. That's an incomplete pass, but the play was totally broken up by Mesa.
He did a nice job on the pocket as it was setting up, too. The pocket was set there. He faked to keep on coming by and moved the lineman back, and then he just stepped inside him.
Scott Roberts is in the game as a defensive safety. East Lyme in a split backfield, and it's handed off to the left, and the man trips on his own. That looked like they were trying to set up a reverse, but
yes,
the first man fell on his nose. And we've got a timeout for East Lyme with 1:38 left in the game. Bring up 3rd down and 15. Okay. They're down in 15 for East Lyme.
Minute 38.
Dan Young just came in the game for Hand. He's wearing number 71. Quarterback straight back, looking to throw long. Now he's being pressured. Hand has got a couple of men after him, but he's still loose. And he's going to get nailed someplace in there.
Get back to the line of scrimmage, though.
He got back to the line of scrimmage after a long run.
Yeah, he covered a lot of territory before he got back.
That brings up a 4th down, and East Lyme's 3rd timeout, and last one with 1:16 left on the clock. This is 4th down and 15, and East Lyme looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they've got to. They have nothing for not going for it.
He's going to throw it as far as he can throw it if he can get it away. Now he throws, and it's almost intercepted. Hand has 5 players converging on one receiver there. Incomplete pass. Hand gets the ball back with 1:08. And all they need to do now is kill that last minute.
Right, Hand had 5 players, like you say, on the one receiver, and they had 5 more players on the quarterback and 1 floater.
Bob Dominowski was in the game, number 50 for Hand.
Matt DeConcilius was in on that series, doing a job. Another sophomore. Hand's getting ready to put their team out there. He's really trying to get as many.
They may take a delay of game penalty trying to figure out who to get in the game here.
And if they do, they won't
matter
mind
at this
that.
point.
There they go. Neat. Darrell Richards, 88. We got Darrell in there. We have 54 is Rob Carroll heading in there to do some numbers.
And there's one young man wearing number 48, and I don't have that number listed on my list. Again, his mama knows who he is.
That's unfortunate. We'll have to try to remember that for another game.
And it's a run up the middle, a good run. And that's Monroe up to the 45. Gained about 8 yards.
Did a nice job.
We're inside of a minute to play.
The boys did a nice work in the line because no question the competition knows what they're going to do. And they still opened up a pretty good gap for Monroe to run through.
Frank Bartlett in the game, number 82. And this may be the last play of the game. Roberts at quarterback. And everybody's coming.
Monroe breaks it
run up
through.
the middle. And a big
Let's call a timeout, Coach.
A big gainer. I didn't see who carried the ball, Frank. Did you?
That was Monroe again.
Monroe, Jeff Monroe.
Monroe's going to have some good numbers out there.
But there's a flag way back. If Hand had a man in motion too soon there, Frank, I think East Lyme had 3 guys offside, but it really doesn't matter at this point.
No, but it's too bad it brings the statistics back also.
Jeff Monroe would have liked to have that run added to his total.
Certainly would.
This will be the last play of the game. The ball's at the 50. 2nd down. Play.
Look at the blitz heading up again.
And it's carried by number 7, Brand. And he's dropped for a yard loss. Clock is down to 5 seconds and running, so that will be the last play of the game. It's a good first game for Hand, winning the game against East Lyme, 48-28. And Frank, do you have a few numbers on some of the Hand players?
Yeah, thanks to our statisticians here and cameramen. I'll give you a few numbers here. Hey, the Noble one with 140 yards. Dan Christmas Carroll, 178. Milligan came up with about 20 yards overall, and Brand had a couple of carries for about 3 yards. Monroe had himself in there for about 12 yards on the carry, so pretty good offensive production all the way up and down the line there.
So this was a very entertaining first game of the season at Strongfield. Daniel Hand High School winning its first game against East Lyme. This is Kent Sprague with Frank Tordoff, Paul Sprague, and Steve Fust on the camera tonight, saying good night from Strongfield, where Daniel Hand High School is now 1-0 in the 1995 season with a final score 48-28. Good night.